What if the greatest mystery you ever tried to solve wasn't out there in the world, but inside your own mind? In True Detective Season 3, the horror is not what happens. It's what you only understand when it is already too late to change anything. Because memory doesn't preserve truth. It reconstructs it, and sometimes it protects you from it. Mahershala Ali as Wayne Hayes, a tracker, a soldier, a man shaped in Vietnam, where survival meant reading reality faster than fear. For Wayne Hayes, truth is not interpretation, it is physical. Footprints, objects, patterns, something that exists whether you remember it correctly or not. That is his entire identity. If it happened, it can be found. But that belief hides something fragile, because it assumes time behaves like evidence, and it doesn't. Season 3 fractures time into 3 versions. 1980, the disappearance, 1990, the reopening, and 2015, the collapse of memory. At first, it feels controlled, like truth is being assembled, like the past is stable enough to recover. But it isn't. Details shift, contradictions appear, certainty erodes quietly, and Wayne doesn't notice the moment it breaks, only that it already has. The case stops feeling like something he is solving and starts feeling like something slipping away from him. True Detective was never about the crime. It was about time, and what time does to the people trying to understand it. Russ Cole said time is a flat circle. Everything returns. Violence returns. People return. Patterns return in different forms. Nothing truly ends. Nothing fully escapes itself. And Marty Hart represents the opposite belief, that life can be contained, that truth can be closed, that meaning has an end point. But even when the case is solved, it doesn't feel like closure. It feels like something still happening underneath reality. Season 1 traps time in repetition. Season 3 dissolves it completely. One says, you will live it again. The other says, you may not even remember it correctly. Loop versus decay. Return versus erosion. But both arrive at the same place. You are never outside of time. You are either trapped inside it or losing it entirely. Amelia Reardon writes the case, not to solve it, but to give it meaning, to turn life into understanding. Wayne rejects it, because to him, truth must be found, not created. So they live beside each other, speaking different languages. She speaks in meaning, he speaks in evidence, and over time, that gap becomes emotional distance. And then she is gone. And what remains is not just loss, it is incompletion. Wayne never gets the final conversation. He never gets the correction. He never gets the understanding while it still matters. Only fragments later. And then something deeper begins to happen. He starts losing memory. But not randomly, not like decay, more like protection. Because the mind cannot hold pain forever without consequence. So it begins to do something subtle. It removes what hurts too much to fully access. Not erasing truth, but blocking it. So Wayne is not just forgetting, he's being shielded from what he cannot emotionally survive. And what remains is not clarity, it is fragments that feel important, but incomplete. And that is when he begins to understand something devastating. He is not losing memory, he is losing access to her, the meaning, to what he never resolved. And now, every missing piece feels like something he should have understood sooner, but cannot reach anymore. This is where memory stops being a tool and becomes a landscape, overgrown, unstable, unreachable, the jungle of the mind, where every thought leads deeper into something unfinished, where every memory is close enough to feel real, but never close enough to hold. And somewhere inside it is her, not as she was, but as she was never fully understood. And beneath everything, there is a poem. Tell me a story. Tell me a story. Not explanation, not analysis. A story that can hold life without trying to control it. In this century and moment of mania, a world too fast to understand while you are inside it, make it a story of great distances and starlight. Distance. That is the real shape of time. Not seconds, but the space between experience and understanding. Long ago, a boy stands by a dirt road in the dark. He hears geese moving overhead. He cannot see them, only hear them passing through the night. And he does not understand what he feels. Not yet. That is Wayne Hayes. And that is all of us. Because meaning is never clear while it is happening. It only becomes visible later, when it can no longer be answered. And sometimes, by the time it arrives, there is no one left to receive it. So tell me a story of deep delight, because if time repeats, you are trapped. And if memory fades, you don't lose truth. You lose the moment it could have meant something between two people. And Wayne Hayes never gets that moment back.